The unexpected rescue. In the vast silence of space, a small ship flew through the stars. Inside the ship was Alex, a brave human explorer. Alex loved adventure and always wanted to discover new worlds. Today was different. As Alex piloted the ship, a bright light suddenly flashed on the control panel. An alarm rang out, breaking the peaceful quiet. What's happening? Alex wondered, gripping the controls tightly. The screen showed a strange signal coming from a nearby area. Curiosity sparked in Alex's mind. I should check it out, Alex decided. Flying closer, Alex saw a large, colorful ship tangled in a storm of flashing lights and dark clouds. It looked damaged and unstable. That doesn't look good, Alex thought, feeling a tug of worry. Without hesitation, Alex maneuvered the ship closer to the alien vessel. The closer Alex got, the more details appeared. The alien ship was beautiful but battered, with shimmering blue and green patterns covering its surface. But the sight of smoke billowing from the ship made Alex's heart race. They need help, Alex realized. Taking a deep breath, Alex prepared to help, knowing it could be dangerous. Using the ship's sensors, Alex found a safe spot to land. With careful movements, Alex brought the ship to a stop nearby. As Alex stepped out, a cold breeze rushed over, making the hair on the back of the neck stand up. The alien ship was eerily quiet. Alex felt a mix of fear and excitement. What if no one was left? Suddenly, a hatch on the alien ship opened, and 3 figures emerged. They were aliens, unlike anything Alex had seen before. They had long, elegant bodies and skin that sparkled like stars. Their large, expressive eyes looked filled with fear and hope. One alien stepped forward, bowing slightly. "Thank you for coming," it said in a soft, melodic voice. "We are the royal family of Xylon. Our ship was attacked." Alex's heart raced at the words. Royal family, Alex thought. This is big. The alien continued, "We need your help. A warlord wants to take our throne. He has sent his ships after us." Understanding the gravity of the situation, Alex nodded. "I'll help you. We need to get you to safety." The aliens looked relieved, their eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, brave human," said the leader. "We are in your hands now." As they prepared to board Alex's ship, Alex noticed the worry etched on their faces. The aliens quickly gathered their belongings and climbed aboard. Alex felt a sense of responsibility. It was now up to them to protect these royal beings. "Let's go," Alex shouted, pressing buttons on the control panel. The engines roared to life, and the ship lifted off the ground. But as they ascended, dark shadows appeared in the distance. "We are not alone," Alex whispered, eyes widening. "Quick! We need to escape before they find us," the alien leader urged. Alex's heart pounded as they navigated through the stars, knowing they had to act fast. The warlord's forces were close behind, and the adventure was only beginning. The unexpected rescue had turned into a race against time, but Alex felt a new sense of courage rising within. "Hold on tight," Alex called out as the ship sped away, leaving behind the dangers of the alien ship. Together, they would face whatever challenges awaited them in the vast universe. The alien story. As Alex's ship zoomed through the stars, the atmosphere inside was tense. The 3 aliens huddled together, whispering in their melodic language. Alex glanced back at them, trying to read their worried expressions. "What's your name?" Alex asked the leader, who had shimmering green skin and bright blue eyes. "I am Zera," the alien replied, her voice gentle but firm. "And these are my siblings, Kiran and Leela." Alex smiled and introduced themselves, feeling a bit of warmth growing between them. As they traveled, Zera shared their story. "We are from the planet Xylon. It is a beautiful place filled with mountains, forests, and rivers that sparkle like diamonds. Our people have lived there for generations, guided by our royal family. But now, everything has changed." "What happened?" Alex asked, genuinely curious. Zara took a deep breath, her eyes filled with sadness. A warlord named Drax has attacked us. He is powerful and wants to take our throne. Drax believes he can rule Cylon better than us, but he does not care about our people or our land. He only wants power. Alex listened carefully, feeling a mix of anger and compassion. That's terrible. But why did you come to Earth? Zara continued. We came to seek help. We hoped to find allies who could stand with us against Drax. He has many soldiers and ships. We thought humans might understand our fight. Kiren, the younger sibling, added, when we left Cylon, we thought we would be safe. But Drax sent his ships after us. They attacked us while we were in space. We barely escaped. Leela, who had been silent until now, spoke up. We are scared. We don't want to lose our home. Alex felt a surge of determination. You won't lose your home. I will help you. We will find a way to stop Drax together. The aliens looked at Alex with hope in their eyes. You mean it? Zara asked, her voice filled with emotion. Yes, we can plan how to fight back. Maybe there are humans on Earth who can help too. Alex replied confidently. You are not alone in this fight. Zara smiled for the first time, her eyes shining like stars. Thank you, Alex. We knew there was something special about you when you rescued us. The ship traveled faster, heading toward the hidden rebel base on Cylon, where they could gather support. As they moved through space, Alex and the aliens shared stories about their worlds. Alex told them about Earth, its beautiful landscapes, and the challenges humans faced. The aliens were fascinated by the idea of cars, cities, and the ocean. In return, Zora described the colorful wildlife on Cylon and the ancient traditions of their people. It sounds amazing, Alex said, eyes wide with wonder. I wish I could see it. Zara replied. And one day you will. Together, we can bring peace back to Cylon. The ship hummed with excitement. Ideas flowed as they planned their next steps. Alex knew they had to be smart and brave. First, we need to find a way to gather allies and figure out Drax's weaknesses, Alex said. Then we can take back your planet. As they approached Cylon, a sense of hope filled the ship. The stars glittered outside, and together they felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. They were no longer just a human and aliens. They were a team, united by a common goal to fight for what was right. Building trust. As Alex's ship entered the atmosphere of Cylon, a wave of awe washed over them. Below, the landscape was breathtaking. Lush green forests spread across the land, and sparkling rivers snaked through the valleys. The sky was a brilliant shade of blue, with two suns shining brightly. Alex felt a sense of wonder, but also the weight of responsibility. This beautiful world was in danger, and it was up to them to help save it. Once they landed, Zara turned to Alex with a serious expression. We must act quickly. Drax's forces could be nearby, and we need to find allies among our people. Alex nodded, ready to take on the challenge. Where do we start? Follow me, Zara said, leading Alex and her siblings out of the ship. They entered a small village hidden among the trees. The houses were made of natural materials, blending perfectly with the environment. The aliens lived in harmony with nature, and Alex admired their way of life. As they walked through the village, curious faces turned to look at them. Some villagers whispered, while others pointed. Zara approached a group of elders who sat beneath a large tree. Elders, I bring news. We have returned with a brave human who will help us fight Drax. The elders looked at Alex with cautious eyes. A human? Can we trust this stranger? One elder asked, his voice deep and wise. Alex stepped forward, feeling the weight of their gaze. I understand your concerns, Alex said. But I promise, I will do everything I can to help save your planet. We are in this together. Zara nodded in support. This human risked their life to save us. We believe in their courage." The elders exchanged glances, sensing the sincerity in Alex's voice. Finally, one elder spoke. "Very well. We will give you a chance. But trust must be earned." With that, the group began to discuss their plan. They needed to gather a force to challenge Drax. Zara suggested calling a meeting with the rebels in the nearby mountains. "Many of our people do not agree with Drax's ways," she explained. "If we can unite them, we stand a better chance." The villagers agreed, and preparations began. Alex felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They were now part of a mission much bigger than themselves. As they worked, Alex helped carry supplies and set up the meeting place. The villagers watched closely, assessing Alex's dedication. When night fell, the group gathered in a clearing surrounded by tall trees. The moonlight bathed the scene in silver light. One by one, the rebels arrived, their faces serious but curious. Zara spoke first, explaining the situation and introducing Alex. "This human will fight alongside us. We must stand together against Drax." Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward again. "I may not know much about your world, but I believe we can win this fight. I've seen how strong you all are. Together, we can drive Drax away." The crowd murmured, unsure but intrigued. A tall rebel stepped forward. "You talk of bravery, but can you fight?" he asked, crossing his arms. Alex nodded confidently. "I may be human, but I am trained in combat. I will fight for you." Slowly, trust began to build. One by one, rebels started to share their stories of loss and courage. They spoke of families torn apart and lands taken by Drax's soldiers. As they shared, Alex listened, realizing how much they all had in common. They were all fighting for their homes and their families. By the end of the night, the rebels were energized. They agreed to work together, united against Drax. Alex felt a deep sense of belonging. The aliens were no longer strangers. They were friends and allies in a fight for justice. As they prepared for the battle ahead, the bond of trust began to grow stronger. Together, they would face the challenges that lay ahead, united by their courage and hope. Dangerous journey. The sun rose over the lush landscape of Xylon, casting a golden light on Alex and the alien group as they gathered in the clearing. Today was the day they would embark on their journey to confront Drax and rally the rebels. Alex felt a mix of excitement and fear as they prepared to set off. Zara stood before the group, her voice strong and clear. "We must be careful. Drax has eyes everywhere. His soldiers are ruthless and will not hesitate to attack." The rebels nodded, their expressions serious. Alex felt the weight of their mission pressing down. "We need to stay united and watch each other's backs," Alex reminded them, trying to boost their spirits. As they began their journey toward the mountains, Alex walked alongside Zara, Karan, and Leela. The path was narrow and winding, surrounded by tall trees and vibrant plants. The air was fresh, filled with the scents of flowers and earth. Alex took a moment to appreciate the beauty of Xylon, even in the shadow of danger. Hours passed, and the group moved swiftly, but they were still cautious. Suddenly, Zara raised her hand, signaling everyone to stop. "Listen," she whispered. The group fell silent, straining to hear. In the distance, they could hear the sound of engines roaring. Drax's ships were nearby. Fear gripped Alex's heart. "What do we do?" they asked urgently. Zora looked around and pointed to a dense thicket of trees. "We hide." Quickly, the group scrambled into the underbrush, trying to stay as quiet as possible. Alex's heart raced as they crouched down, trying to remain still. From their hiding spot, they watched as two large ships flew overhead. The vessels were dark and menacing, moving with precision. The soldiers inside were looking for them, and Alex could see the flashing lights from their weapons. "This is close," Alex thought, holding their breath. After what felt like hours, the ships finally flew away. Zora signaled to the group that it was safe to come out. As they emerged, relief washed over them, but Alex could see the tension in everyone's eyes. "We can't let our guard down," Zara said. "Drax will send more ships." As they continued their journey, Alex felt the bond between them strengthen. They shared stories to lift each other's spirits. Kieran told a funny tale about a time he tried to cook a traditional dish and accidentally set fire to their kitchen. The group laughed, and for a moment, the fear of Drax faded away. But the laughter was short-lived. Suddenly, the ground shook beneath them. Alex looked around, confused. "What was that?" they asked. Zara's eyes widened. "It's an earthquake. We need to find shelter." The group quickly searched for a safe place, scrambling up the rocky hillside. Just as they reached a cave, the ground shook violently again. Rocks fell from above, and Alex barely managed to duck inside. They could hear the rumbling outside as they huddled together, breathing heavily. "Is everyone okay?" Alex asked, counting the heads in the dim light. "I think so," Lila replied, her voice trembling. They stayed inside the cave for a while, listening to the earth settle. Zara began to talk, her calm voice helping to ease their fear. "This is just a temporary setback. We will get through this together." After some time, the shaking stopped. They cautiously exited the cave and looked around. The landscape had changed. Some trees had fallen, and the path was blocked. "We'll have to find another way," Alex said, determination in their voice. As they took a deep breath and looked ahead, Alex realized that this journey was not just about reaching the mountains. It was about building trust, facing fears, and standing together against a common enemy. United, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead on their dangerous journey. The sneaky plan. After their harrowing journey, Alex and the group finally reached the hidden rebel base, nestled in the mountains of Xylon. The base was a collection of tents and makeshift shelters, surrounded by tall trees and steep cliffs. It felt safe, but the air was thick with tension. Everyone knew they were running out of time. As they entered the base, Zara quickly gathered the rebels for a meeting. "We need a plan to take down Drax and his forces," she said, her voice steady. The rebels nodded, but worried faces showed their uncertainty. "We are outnumbered," one rebel spoke up. "How can we fight against Drax's army?" Alex stepped forward, feeling the weight of their gaze. "I know it seems impossible, but we can use our wits. We need to be smart and sneaky." The rebels listened closely. Their interest piqued. "If we can find a way to outsmart Drax, we can turn the tide in our favor." Zara smiled at Alex. "What do you have in mind?" Alex took a deep breath, knowing they had to be careful with their words. "First, we need to gather information about Drax's stronghold. If we can discover his weaknesses, we can create a plan to attack. But we need to do it quietly." Kieran raised an eyebrow. "How do we sneak into Drax's territory? His soldiers are everywhere." Alex thought for a moment and then said, "We can use the cover of night. I've seen how soldiers patrol the area. If we move stealthily, we might slip through without being seen." The room buzzed with ideas as the rebels began to brainstorm. One rebel suggested using disguises to blend in with Drax's soldiers. "If we can get uniforms, we might be able to walk right into his base." Another rebel added, "We could create a distraction to draw attention away from our main objective." Alex felt a spark of hope. "That's it. If we can create a diversion, we can sneak in while the guards are distracted. We'll split into 2 teams. One will create the distraction, and the other will gather intel on Drax's plans." The group nodded, the energy in the room rising. They started to divide into teams. Zara would lead the team creating the distraction. They decided to set a small fire near the outer edge of Drax's territory, drawing soldiers away from their posts. Alex would lead the second team into the stronghold. "I'll need a few of you with me," Alex said, looking around. "We need to be quick and quiet. We can't afford to get caught." Several brave rebels stepped forward, ready to join the mission. As night fell, The team preparing for the distraction moved out first. They carried supplies and set up the fire as planned. The flames flickered and crackled, sending plumes of smoke into the air. Drax's soldiers would notice it soon. Meanwhile, Alex and the others waited for the signal. Alex felt a mix of excitement and fear. They knew the risks, but they also felt the weight of responsibility. This was their chance to change everything. After what felt like hours, Zara's team sent a signal, a bright flash in the sky. "It's time," Alex called out. The team moved quickly, slipping through the shadows toward Drax's stronghold. Heartbeats raced, and Alex focused on staying quiet. As they approached the entrance, they could see guards on patrol. Alex whispered, "Stay close and follow my lead." The rebels nodded, their eyes wide with determination. This was it, the moment that could change the fate of Xylon. With courage in their hearts and a sneaky plan in their minds, Alex and their team moved forward, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. They were united, fighting for a brighter future for both humans and aliens. Together, they would confront Drax and his army. The battle begins. The night was dark and quiet as Alex and the team crept closer to Drax's stronghold. The air was thick with tension, and each step felt like a leap into the unknown. Shadows danced around them as they moved cautiously through the trees, hearts pounding in unison. As they approached the entrance, Alex signaled for everyone to stop. "Remember the plan," they whispered. "Stay together and move fast." The rebels nodded, eyes wide with determination. When they reached the entrance, Alex peered inside. The stronghold was dimly lit, filled with machinery and alien equipment. Guards patrolled the area, their voices low as they exchanged worried glances. Alex took a deep breath, trying to steady their nerves. "We need to find Drax's command center. That's where we'll learn his plans." Suddenly, a loud alarm blared from somewhere in the stronghold. "What's happening?" one of the rebels asked, panic creeping into their voice. "It must be the distraction," Alex replied. "We need to hurry before they realize we're here." With the alarm ringing in their ears, Alex led the team deeper into the stronghold. They ducked behind crates and machinery, staying out of sight. As they moved, they could hear the guards shouting, their voices filled with confusion. "There's a fire. Check the perimeter," one soldier yelled. "This is our chance," Alex said, urging the group to move faster. They finally reached a large door marked with a glowing symbol. "This must be it," Alex said, pushing the door open. Inside was a room filled with screens and maps, displaying Drax's plans for the invasion of Xylon. But just as they stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind them. "We're trapped," one of the rebels shouted. Alex turned to find Drax himself standing in front of them, a sinister smile on his face. "Welcome, intruders," he said, his voice dripping with mockery. "Did you really think you could sneak into my stronghold?" Fear shot through Alex, but they knew they had to stay calm. "We won't let you take Xylon," Alex declared, standing tall. Drax laughed, a cold, harsh sound. "You think you can stop me? I have an army at my command. You're just a few rebels and a human." Before Alex could respond, the room filled with soldiers. The rebels stood together, backs against the wall. "We need to fight," Zara shouted, her voice strong. "We can't let him win." With no other option, Alex and the rebels launched into action. They quickly grabbed whatever they could find: sticks, pipes, anything to use as weapons. Drax's soldiers charged at them, and the room erupted into chaos. Alex swung a pipe, knocking one soldier to the ground. "Keep fighting," they shouted. The rebels fought bravely, their determination shining through the fear. Zara and Kiran worked together, taking down guards with swift teamwork. But Drax wasn't done yet. He stepped back and activated a control panel. "You will regret this," he shouted as the room filled with bright lights and alarms. "Release the security droids." Suddenly, robotic droids burst into the room. their metal bodies gleaming menacingly. "We have to get out of here," one rebel cried, panic rising in their voice. "No," Alex shouted. "We can't let Drax escape. We have to stop him now." With renewed energy, Alex led the charge. "Focus. We need to disable those droids." They quickly targeted the droids' weak spots, finding gaps in their armor. The battle raged on, and Alex's heart raced. They could feel the tide shifting, the rebels gaining ground against Drax's forces. As the fight continued, Alex spotted a control panel on the wall. "I can shut down the droids," they yelled, darting toward it. With adrenaline pumping through their veins, Alex quickly began typing commands, hoping to outsmart the machines. Just as the droids closed in, Alex pressed the final button. The droids froze, their lights flickering before shutting down completely. "Yes," Alex cheered, relief flooding their body. The rebels cheered, their spirits lifting as they took down the remaining soldiers. But Drax was not finished. He backed away toward an escape hatch, his eyes filled with fury. "You may have won this battle, but I will return. You will never take Cylon from me." With that, he disappeared through the hatch. Alex and the rebels stood in the now silent room, panting heavily. They had won this battle, but they knew the war was far from over. They looked at each other, a mix of exhaustion and determination in their eyes. They would fight for their home, and together, they would prepare for whatever Drax would throw at them next. Facing the warlord. The rebel base buzzed with energy and urgency after the battle. Alex and the team had defeated Drax's soldiers, but the warlord was still out there, plotting his next move. Alex could feel the weight of their responsibilities heavy on their shoulders. They knew they had to face Drax once and for all. The leaders of the rebels gathered in a large tent, dimly lit by flickering lights. Zara stood at the front, her face serious. "We have won a small victory, but Drax will not give up easily. We must prepare for the next fight." The rebels nodded, their expressions resolute. They all knew the stakes were high. "What do we know about Drax's next plan?" Alex asked, trying to focus the group. Karen stepped forward, holding a map of Xylon. "After talking to the guards we captured, we learned that Drax is gathering more troops. He plans to launch a major attack on our village at dawn." "Then we don't have much time," Alex replied, glancing at the map. "We need to stop him before he can attack. But we need a solid plan." One of the older rebels spoke up. "Drax has a weakness, his pride. He wants to show how powerful he is. If we can create a diversion that draws him away from the village, we might stand a chance." Alex nodded, feeling hopeful. "That could work. But we need to make it convincing." The rebels began brainstorming ideas, and Alex felt a surge of creativity. "What if we create a fake camp? We can make it look like we're preparing for a big attack. Drax will be too curious to resist coming to see it for himself." The group erupted with excitement, their spirits lifting at the thought of outsmarting Drax. With a plan in place, everyone quickly divided into teams. Some would gather supplies to create the fake camp, while others would set traps along the way. Zara and Karan would lead the diversion, ensuring that Drax would see their movements from a distance. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as they prepared for the most critical part of the plan, the face-off against Drax. As night fell, the rebels worked tirelessly, their focus unwavering. They set up tents and made campfires, creating the illusion of a large gathering. They even dressed in their best uniforms to make the camp look more impressive. Under the cover of darkness, everything began to take shape. When the camp was ready, the rebels took their positions. Zora looked at Alex, her eyes filled with determination. "Are you ready?" she asked. "We need to show Drax that we won't back down." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. "I'm ready. Let's do this." As dawn approached, the sky began to lighten. The rebels watched from their hidden positions, waiting for Drax to take the bait. Minutes felt like hours, and tension hung in the air like a thick fog. Finally, a rumble echoed in the distance. Drax's ships appeared on the horizon, flying low and fast. "Here he comes," Kiran whispered, barely able to contain his excitement. The rebels held their breath, watching as Drax's forces landed nearby. Drax himself emerged from one of the ships, his presence commanding and intimidating. He looked around, eyes narrowing as he spotted the fake camp. "It looks like they are preparing for war," he bellowed, his voice booming across the field. "Let's show them what happens when they defy me." He turned to his soldiers, pointing toward the camp. "We will crush them." With that, Drax and his soldiers charged toward the fake camp. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as they watched the warlord fall into their trap. "Now," Zara shouted. The rebels sprung into action, launching their surprise attack. From the trees, they released nets and traps they had set up earlier, catching many of Drax's soldiers off guard. Alex felt a surge of hope as the rebels fought bravely, pushing back against Drax's forces. But Drax was not easily defeated. As the chaos ensued, he turned and spotted Alex. "You," he shouted, fury in his eyes. "You dare challenge me?" Alex's heart raced, knowing this was the moment they had been preparing for. "Yes," Alex shouted back, their voice strong. "You will not take Cylon." The two locked eyes, and in that moment, Alex felt a wave of determination. They would face the warlord and stand up for everything they believed in. The battle continued around them, but all that mattered was the confrontation with Drax. Alex knew they had to be brave. It was time to show Drax that courage and unity could overcome even the strongest of foes. A new dawn. The battle raged on as Alex faced Drax, the warlord's eyes burning with anger. The chaos of the fight surrounded them, but for Alex, it felt like time had slowed. They took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their people's hopes resting on their shoulders. "You think you can defeat me?" Drax sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. "You're just a human, nothing but a mere insect." Alex refused to let his words intimidate them. "I may be human, but I stand for the people of Xylon. We will not bow to you." With those words, Alex charged at Drax, feeling a surge of bravery. The warlord laughed, but Alex was determined. They dodged to the side as Drax swung a powerful fist, narrowly avoiding the blow. Alex retaliated, striking back with all their strength. The fight was fierce, and Alex felt every ounce of their training and passion come alive. Around them, the battle continued. Rebels fought bravely against Drax's soldiers, using the element of surprise to their advantage. Zara and Kiran led their team with courage, taking down enemies one by one. The rebels were united, working together to push Drax's forces back. But Drax was not just a brute, he was cunning. As Alex continued to fight, Drax began to gain the upper hand. With a swift move, he knocked Alex to the ground, and they gasped in pain. "You see," Drax taunted, "you are weak." Alex struggled to rise, but deep down, they felt a spark of defiance. "I'm not giving up," they shouted, forcing themselves back to their feet. Drax was taken aback for a moment, and that moment was enough. Alex charged again, dodging Drax's next attack and landing a blow to his side. The warlord staggered, and Alex seized the opportunity. "This ends now," they shouted, determination fueling their movements. As they fought, Alex glanced at their friends, witnessing their bravery. The sight of their fellow rebels fighting with all their hearts filled Alex with strength. Just then, a loud explosion shook the ground. Zara had set off one of the traps they had prepared, and a cloud of dust rose into the air. "Now's our chance," Kiran shouted, rallying the rebels. "Let's finish this together." As the dust settled, the rebels surged forward, pushing Drax's soldiers back. The warlord roared in frustration, trying to regain control, but he was surrounded. "You will pay for this," Drax yelled, but his voice was filled with panic. "Not if we can help it." Alex shouted back, feeling a wave of unity wash over them. The rebels charged together, and with one final push, they overwhelmed Drax and his soldiers. The warlord stumbled back, realizing that defeat was imminent. With a last-ditch effort, Drax turned and tried to flee, but Alex was faster. "It's over, Drax," they yelled, grabbing the warlord by the arm. "You will never threaten Cylon again." As the sun began to rise on the horizon, casting a golden light over the battlefield, Drax fell to his knees. "You think you've won." He spat, but his voice held less power now. "You don't know what's coming." "We will face whatever comes," Alex replied, their voice steady. "Together." With that, the remaining rebels cheered, celebrating their victory. They had fought bravely and united against a common enemy. As dawn broke, the sky turned bright with hope. Alex looked around at their friends, feeling gratitude and pride. They had overcome immense challenges and stood strong against fear. With Drax captured and his forces defeated, the rebels began to talk about rebuilding Xylon. They knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but they also knew that they could face them together. The people of Xylon had proven their strength, and Alex felt a sense of peace. "Let's start a new chapter for Xylon," Zora said, her eyes shining with hope. Alex nodded, feeling the warmth of the new dawn. This was just the beginning, and together they would create a brighter future for everyone. Friendship across worlds. With Drax captured and the battle behind them, the rebels gathered to celebrate their victory. The air was filled with laughter and joy as they shared stories of their bravery. The dawn brought a new light to Xylon, and the people felt a sense of hope that they hadn't known in a long time. Alex stood at the edge of the gathering, watching their friends celebrate. Zara approached, her face beaming with happiness. "You did it, Alex. We really defeated Drax," she said, clapping them on the shoulder. "I couldn't have done it without all of you." Alex replied, smiling. Kieran joined them, holding a plate of food. "We need to celebrate our victory properly." "Here, have some of this," he said, offering Alex a piece of fruit. "Thanks, Kieran," Alex replied, taking a bite. The sweet taste filled them with energy, and they felt grateful for the friendship they had formed. As the celebrations continued, Alex noticed some of the alien rebels sitting together, sharing their own stories and laughter. They had fought side by side, and now they were becoming friends. This was what Alex had always hoped for, a world where humans and aliens could stand together as equals. Feeling inspired, Alex walked over to the group of alien rebels. "Can I join you?" they asked. The aliens looked up, their eyes filled with curiosity. One of them, a tall figure with bright blue skin named Lyra, smiled and gestured for Alex to sit. "Of course, we are all friends now," Lyra said, their voice warm and welcoming. As they talked, Alex learned more about the alien culture and traditions. Lyra explained how they celebrated their victories with music and dance. "You should join us tonight for a special celebration," Lyra invited. "It will show our unity and friendship." Alex's heart swelled with excitement. "I would love that." Later that evening, the rebels gathered again, this time for a celebration. Bright lights lit up the sky, and music filled the air. Aliens and humans danced together, celebrating not only their victory, but also their newfound friendship. Alex felt a deep sense of belonging as they moved to the rhythm of the music. As they danced, Alex caught sight of Zara and Kieran laughing and enjoying themselves. They felt lucky to have such brave friends by their side, but more importantly, they were proud of the bonds that were forming across worlds. After some time, Lyra took Alex aside. "I am grateful for your bravery," Lyra said sincerely. "Your actions have inspired many of us. We want to build a better future together." Alex felt a warmth in their chest. "Thank you, Lyra. It means a lot to hear that. Together, we can create a world where everyone is safe." As the night went on, Alex noticed the differences and similarities between humans and aliens. They shared stories of their homes, dreams, and struggles. They realized that despite their different backgrounds, they all wanted the same thing: peace and friendship. When the stars twinkled brightly in the sky, Alex stood with Zara, Karan, and Lyra looking out at the gathered crowd. "This is just the beginning," Alex said, feeling hopeful. "We have a chance to change everything." Zora nodded in agreement. "Together, we can build a future where everyone is free." As the night ended, the rebels made a pact to protect their worlds, not just from enemies like Drax, but also to support each other in their everyday lives. They would create an alliance, ensuring that humans and aliens would work together for a better tomorrow. Alex smiled, feeling a sense of unity among their friends. Friendship had blossomed across worlds, and they knew that together, they could face any challenge. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and they were ready to embrace it with open hearts.